Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Brandon Hudson.
And I'm Amy Lange. And the driver charged with a deadly New Year's Day hit-and-run crash has reportedly reached a deal with prosecutors.
It's a story that we've covered since the beginning of the year. I know you spoke with the father. The development comes just months after investigators say the suspect caused the deadly crash, hopped on a plane to Thailand before agreeing to return to Michigan to face charges. Fox News' Robert Murdoch is live with what else we've read. Robin, this has been a very emotional story.
Yeah, this has been a very emotional story from the very beginning, Brandon and Amy, and this is a very big development in this case. Tim Hudson, who also goes by the name of Sue, she previously pled not guilty connected to the charges related to this crash. Well, now she is pleading no contest, a move that means there will no longer be an emotional trial.
Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Tim Hudson.
This hearing back in March was the first time we saw Tim Hudson in person since she ran off to Thailand following the deadly hit and run of a popular Michigan State University student. Prosecutors say 22-year-old Benjamin Cable was struck by Hudson as he walked along Rochester Road south of Wims Lane in Oakland Township after attending a New Year's Eve party with friends.
This offense happened on January 1st. This defendant fled the country on the 3rd of January.
Hudson was eventually brought back by U.S. Marshals to face charges, but this week, new developments in her case. During a court proceeding on Wednesday, the 57-year-old pleaded no contest. She's not admitting guilt, but Hudson will accept the punishment for the crash that claimed Cable's young life, an accomplished engineering student who loved the outdoors and spending time with his family.
It's very difficult when you lose a child. Obviously, it's like the worst thing you can go through, and we're still dealing with it.
Cable's father spoke to Fox 2 News following Hudson's arraignment in March, in which the judge set Hudson's bond at $1 million. It was revealed during that hearing that Hudson traveled to Thailand to see her husband, who was on a business trip. At the time, Hudson pled not guilty to failing to stop at the scene of an accident, resulting in death.
The reason she left is to be with her family. She left in a panic. She didn't know what to do. She's never been in a situation like this.
Hudson is expected to face a judge again next month for the next phase, her sentencing. The no contest plea means the case will no longer go to trial, sparing everyone the horrific details of the deadly crash, the agonizing account of what it took to track Hudson down, and of course the tremendous toll this has taken on Cable's heartbroken loved ones.
This was a difficult case to find the person that did it. I'm just happy to see that justice is finally here.
And that justice should come next month. A judge is expected to sentence Hudson on July 26th. We'll, of course, let you know what happens with that. We are live in Oakland County. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Well, Robin, what does this mean for how much time that Tim Hudson could spend behind bars?
Brandon, you know, obviously it's at the discretion of the judge. He does have some guidelines that they must abide by. But in this particular charge, that is leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death, it does carry up to 5 years in prison. So again, we'll figure out, or we'll find out next month on July 26th exactly what her punishment will be. Back to you.
I know we'll be there, Robin. We appreciate it. Thank you. And Amy.
Gosh, from one horrible accident to another, a Fraser High School teacher is struck and killed on I-94 in Harper Woods. Police say Connor McMahon was changing a tire on his vehicle Tuesday night when he was hit. The driver, a 25-year-old woman, ran off but was later captured. McMahon taught social studies at the same school he graduated from just a few years ago.
Couldn't have been more proud. He loved what he did. He loved working with kids.
Connor loved life. He was a little loud sometimes, but he was very passionate. If he was your friend, he was your friend forever.
Your heart just breaks for that family. Connor McMahon was just 23 years old. His family tells us they hope to one day see a teaching scholarship in his name. Now, as for the suspect, she's from Clinton Township, and when police were trying to arrest her, she bit an officer. Police took a blood test to see if she was under the influence. The results have not yet been released.
Another tragic story about a loss of life behind the wheel. A DDOT bus driver is charged with hitting and killing a woman in downtown Detroit. And incredibly, this is not the first time that she's been accused of the same thing. Years earlier, while also on the job, police say that earlier this month, Geraldine Johnson ran over a 67-year-old woman from Grosse Pointe Park at the intersection of Griswold and Congress. In court yesterday, the judge brought up multiple charges, multiple crashes in her past, including one in 2015 where she struck and killed a passenger.
In 2015, you were involved in a traffic crash resulting in a fatal injury. That there have been crashes either with a bus or your personal vehicle in 2018, 2 in 19, 1 in 20, 1 in 21, 1 in 22, and then we have this matter today. So the court does find you to be a danger.
Of course, one of the big questions is, how did she get that job at DDOT?
How did she keep that job at DDOT? My God.
Bond was set at $100,000. Now, if she posts this, Johnson must avoid driving and wear a GPS tether.
Well, it is a discovery no daughter should ever have to make. Her mother murdered, her body set on fire.
The woman's fiance is now under arrest. The daughter spoke to Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack.
My mom was the most beautiful spirit.
You can see that spirit has been passed on to daughter Kaya Smith. A smile, even though just last week she found her mom, Stacy Smith, dead, murdered in their West Side Detroit home.
I found her. She was laid unconscious in her room, and she had a burn mark on her leg. I touched her. She was cold, and at that point, I called the police as fast as I could.
Kaya says their house smelled like lighter fluid or gasoline, and her mom's bed was partially burnt. An autopsy would later reveal 48-year-old Stacy was strangled to death. Her fiance was arrested by Detroit police this week.
It really changed our life in a really drastic way, and I want him to know that, like, this is really unforgiving.
The fiance has not been charged yet. That's why we're not naming him.
As of what I knew, he loved my mom, and my mom really loved him. Like, my mom was very excited. They had just got engaged on Memorial Day.
Kaya says her mom's fiance lived with them for 2 years.
It's very unexpected because I've never seen him ever, I've seen arguments, and they were actually arguing that day, but I've never seen him put his hands on my mom or them get physical ever.
Now Kaya, a 19-year-old junior at Grand Valley State University, stepping into a caretaker role for her 14-year-old brother.
He's not taking it good. He's not.
Kaya says she lost her best friend.
My mom did everything for me, so it's kind of like I'm just kind of getting thrown out there,
You heard from Kaya that their home smelled like some kind of accelerant and that her mom's leg and part of the bed was burned. It does appear at this point in the investigation that those burns are post-mortem, and whoever did this likely started a fire to cover up the crime. Reporting on Detroit's West Side, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
And in an update since Jessica filed that report, the Wayne County prosecutor has now charged 42-year-old Cortez Coleman in connection with Stacy Smith's murder. He's facing 1 count of first-degree murder. Also this morning, the Grosse Pointe Woods community is mourning the loss of 3 young adults, all dead from a suspected drug overdose. It's believed the overdoses could be from a bad batch of cocaine circulating in the area that's laced with fentanyl. The 3 victims were all employees of Saucy's Pizza on Mack Avenue. 2 of them were sisters, and a few months ago, 2 of their friends died of suspected overdoses in neighboring cities. Grosse Pointe Woods police are still waiting on toxicology reports. Saucy's Pizza is closed for the rest of the week to mourn the loss of its employees.